In our top stories tonight, security detonates 6 other improvised explosive devices. FDC declines to fund Bigira's extraordinary delegates conference. Experts predict a fuel crisis in the near future in Uganda. And in sports, USBA votes Cheptegei and Kiplagat sports personalities of the month. Hello there and welcome once again. We are coming to you live on air and online from Broadcast House here on Nile Avenue. On sign language, it is Elizabeth Nakakuni and I am Rukidi Edward Kijjanangoma. Now, the Prime Minister, Robina Nabanja, has encouraged farmers to start commercial and value addition so as to increase household incomes. She was on a familiarization tour to various model farmers in Bamundanika, Luero district at the invitation of State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. Chrysostom Muyingo. We have more in this story.
The Prime Minister, Robina Nabanja, accompanied by the State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, first attended Mass at Zirowe Holy Trinity Catholic Parish, led by the parish priest, Reverend Father Vincent Muchivi. They later visited the parish hall under construction and each contributed 20 million shillings to construction works. They later visited the model farmers in Bamunanika and toured the Abunoni Mugera's 50 acres of coffee plantation, poultry farmers and farmers on value addition. The Prime Minister Nabanja commended the farmers for utilizing agriculture to fight poverty and encouraged them to venture into commercial farming.
We are saying Uganda must industrialize. That's the only way to go. Emilimo tujigaba baje batwala mukene waffe ne bakomya unge sawo ya buseni. Mukene bamutwali bafu. Neso ya bamujawa. Are we together? So they want to make kati omanyi bakuteka mwe kirozo. Nti ebyawo no byonna birimu amayinje ekyo kifu. Tulina bana abayuga kikibekolera. Abasinga kati batandise okwekolera. So I think what I'm going to do is take you for training. Nabana umaleyo wiki ngemu babiri bakulage engeye bakola ebirungo bino zino sente zaffe ozisigaze bwe bwanga kyetaagisa ebirumu ebirala gavumenti yekyaliwo yakikuwa ate yekyaliwo nnyo Museveni akyaliwo.
She said government has identified an investor to construct the value addition factory for fruits in Bukalasa. State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, commended government for extending electricity to rural areas and tipped communities on government projects. Abdul Nasir Lubwama and Fred Kasibante for UBC.
Now, President Yoweri Museveni has contributed 50 million shillings in cash towards the completion of Emmanuel Church of Uganda, Ruinghanja, Kashari County in Mbarara District. The church was established in 1965 by Mama Esteri Kokundeka, may her soul continue to rest in peace, alongside Esteri Kokundeka Memorial Primary School and Esteri Kokundeka Memorial Secondary School, to promote education and social transformation of the community. It is believed that the late Kokundeka started the church under a eucalyptus tree and used drums to mobilize Christians for church services. Vice President Jessica Alupo, flanked by her dear husband Peter Abeine, handed over the president's contribution of 50 million shillings to the Christians during a colorful fundraising ceremony organized to ensure the completion of the magnificent church over the weekend. Alupo re-echoed President Museveni's message during the 50 years of marriage with Mama Janet in Ntungamo that when one does God's work, he also does their work. She urged the faithful to contribute overwhelmingly towards the completion of the church. Vice President paid tribute to Mama Kokundeka for being foresighted, much as she never attained formal education.
I want to thank all of you for inviting me to come here in Rwenkanja to participate in this fundraising. Thank you very much. When I received the message from the Christians of this church, WhatsApp messages, you know, these days the phone is everything. And the pictures of the church also in the WhatsApp, the name of the church, the history of the church. And against that background, I said, let's just secure a day and we come to Rwenkanja and celebrate the fruits of Mama Esteri Kokundeka, but also, secondly, look for something to support the completion of the church. So I want to thank those Christians. The other day when we were in Ntungamo, celebrating 50 years of His Excellency the President and Mama Janet's Golden Jubilee of marriage in church, the President said that when you do God's work, God also does your work. So I want to assure all of us who are here today that since we are all here to do God's work, God is also going to do our work. In our homes, in our offices, in our constituencies, God will do it for us. Many of us who have heard the President speak about her would remember that he always says that she received that informal education, especially from the missionaries. But she may not have been particularly privileged to attend a formal school. But she was able to think very far and have a focused mind that the children around her needed to have that privilege of attending formal education. And that's why she decided, on top of starting a church, she inspired the community also to start a primary school and also a secondary school, so that the children would benefit from formal education, which she herself missed. So I would like to thank her for the efforts that she made in this area by recognizing that education is a very important tool which you can use to transform and change the world. And I'm sure because of her efforts, many have graduated, many are now working, many are serving the government and the country in different capacities, not just here in Rwenkanja, but across the country. So those are her fruits. We want to give God glory for that. So for this ceremony today, after briefing His Excellency the President, when he told me that there's a school there on top of a church, you go there, you will bring me a report. And then he said, you go there and take for them 50 million Uganda shillings.
To other news now. Police have detonated 6 improvised explosive devices that were engineered to terrorize Kampala metropolitan area. Security have also called for vigilance and calmness within the central business district, as we hear in this story.
The arrest of Kinto Abdurrahim, a suspected suicide bomber who attempted to detonate an improvised explosive device at Rubaga Miracle Center, led security to the location of 3 IEDs in the suburb of Lunguja near the Adventist Church.
The joint security agencies have managed to locate 6 IEDs that within these 2 days that were meant to cause harm.
Abdurrahim is suspected to have 5 accomplices who are determined to detonate explosives in crowded areas, though still on the run.
Including him, so we are now actively searching for the 5 other co-conspirators who are still at large, and he also managed to lead us to their 2 rented house at Lunguja Zone 8, where we recovered 3 constructed IEDs.
In the ongoing operations in Kampala, police have arrested other suicide bombers, one in Natete Mabito and the other in Bunamwaya. Counter-terrorism has detonated the explosives.
The other IED has been located at Peaceful Guest House in Ngobe Bunamwaya. That is where we've managed to recover it, and plans are in place to have it detonated at the scene.
Kumachuru waliro wano Natete tufunye kwendala tubadde tufunye kwendala 3 some time back, and as we talk now we are here in a place called Bunamwaya Ngobe, in a place called Peaceful Guest House. Kati abantu abachamu babadde ate ne bombo togera sawa zino ekyali mu room. Kati experts bali wano bakola nga bajijayo nga baje detonating.
The bomb threats to Uganda come few weeks after UK's travel advisory, citing a likely indiscriminate terror attack on Uganda. The advisory highlighted targeted areas like bars, transport hubs, sporting and religious events. Abdul Nasser Luwama and Rogers Komago for UBC.
And in a related development, police, with the aid of managers of places that accommodate huge gatherings in the central business district of Kampala, should enforce mandatory checkups on entry points of shopping arcades, transport terminals and markets. Now this in a bid to deter any form of terror attack.
With security agencies confirming that they have detonated 6 improvised exclusive devices in the last 2 days in Lubaga division, there is a general laxity in enforcing the security guidelines issued July 14 after the Kampala twin bombs.
Together, the joint security agencies have managed to locate 6 IEDs that within these 2 days.
Walking through the streets of Kampala, transport terminals and the arcades that are always crowded, most entry points are unmanned as opposed to guidelines issued by police. In the aftermath of the Kampala twin bombings, all arcades, markets and transport terminals were mandated to buy a body scanner and employ a security officer on every entry point, install security cameras and observe neighborhood watch. Downtown Kafumbe Mukasa Road and St. Balikudembe Market, business was as usual, as nobody seemed to be bothered about the threat yet. Nelson Sekandi, the manager of Namaiwa bus terminal, together with his head of security, Wellborn Appeal, urged passengers to cooperate with management for the effective maintenance of security in the bus terminal.
Good enough, these things have been in place, just that we have increased on more manpower together with police to make sure that the security within the park is safe.
Because of this threat, we are really checking all the bags with the metal detectors.
The vice chairman of Uganda Taxi Operators Federation, Khalifan Musajalumbwa, said that they have already liaised with KCCA and police to see how security can be handled in the Kampala parks, starting with the 2 main parks of Old and New Park. Marion Awori and Edward Collins Chuko, UBC.
Now, Forum for Democratic Change, FDC Party Working Committee members have resolved not to grant the budget of 638 million shillings to the chairman of the party, Waswa Abirigwa, that he had presented to hold the extraordinary delegates conference. The conference was to discuss reconciliation among members of the party. This was disclosed by the deputy spokesperson of FDC, John Kijjanangoma, during a media briefing at the FDC party headquarters in Kijjanangoma.
3 weeks back, FDC National Chairman Ambassador Waswa Abirigwa announced an extraordinary delegates conference in a newspaper advert without consulting the party. The deputy spokesperson FDC, John Kijjanangoma, says the working committee that sat on 1st September was presented with a budget of 638 million shillings from the office of the chairman for the extraordinary delegates conference. However, the party is not convinced on why it should spend money on the extraordinary delegates conference, yet there is a delegates conference for electing new leadership.
A delegates conference which is going to elect leaders, and at the same time we have an extraordinary delegates conference which is being proposed by the chairman. The party will be constrained financially. 12 of them to be more than 1.3 billion, which we don't have as a party at present.
So it is not true that we don't have money. We have money, actually. There's committee meeting, they said they had borrowed money from sources that are classified. I think we can borrow from that same classified sources. And I want to assure the country that we are mobilizing money for the National Delegates Conference. And we also want to thank you, the Democrats, the members who have supported this cause, because we anticipated this.
Kijjanangoma reveals that on the issue of the extraordinary delegates meeting, there were letters exchanging hands with the chairman, Ambassador Abirigwa. He suspects there is a group of members pressuring him to hold the conference.
The delegates conference was being forced on the chairman by some individuals who have been holding some press conferences outside the party headquarters.
We've been running the party. What is the health of the party? What are these ramblings about? And how do we secure our party? All these are well within the ambit of the National Delegates Conference. And that's all we are doing as the office of the chair, to provide a platform for political discussion.
Meanwhile, the party has announced that elections ended and picking nomination forms for all positions of National Executive Committee start 8th and ends 12th September.
On the 18th, all the members of FDC cabinet, that's the working committee, will be returning their forms. And these members include the party president and his 4 deputies, the party chairperson and his deputies.
Nomination papers picked electronically and manually from 19th September to 22nd September. And we have them returned on 2nd October to 6th October. Delegates conference is supposed to take place on 23rd November. So you have even the approved roadmap has been overrun, has been subverted. I think I'm interested. For as long as the present stalemate is not solved, I have no business. I have none whatsoever.
The working committee is to again sit Wednesday 6th to hear from the chairman of the party about the relevancy of the extraordinary delegates conference. I'm Nafka Farida and Stephen Kalisia in Kijjanangoma.
Now, experts have warned that Uganda will suffer a fuel scarcity challenge if government does not intervene in the high prices of fuel that have risen above 5,000 shillings per litre. A sales and marketing director at Europet Petroleum, Carlos Kaniga, attributes this to the high demand and low supply chain in the crude oil industry and global production cuts, together with the rising world oil prices and appreciating of the dollar against the shilling.
The increase was noticeable at Shell, Total and City Oil, among others. A litre of petrol cost between shillings 5,380 to 5,480 shillings at Shell, while at Total it was at 5,310 shillings. Motorists at most pump stations in and around Kampala attributed the skyrocketing prices to the taxes levied on fuel.
Amafuta gano gaba gajja. Government egajja ko musolo mungi. Kati n'omusuubuzi anoonya kyokola ne kyemubula. Kyokola bei ekola ki? Erinnya. Ate minister tavaayo kutubuulira lwaki amafuta zembeere twagimanyira era tulina buzibu naye tujja kugitambuliramu ku paka.
Carlos explains that the world oil prices went up towards the end of August 2023 from $80 per barrel to about $88.5 per barrel.
Most depots in Kampala have no fuel. There's no fuel in town, and I want to imagine if the situation does not go down by close of business tomorrow, prices are still going up because most depots in Kampala are dry.
Nevertheless, Uganda needs to construct fuel storage facilities to cater for the national fuel reserves. Brian Tumwenebiaruhanga, UBC News.
It's coming to 25 minutes after the hour of 8 here at UBC Studios, and we're going to take a short break, but we'll be returning with much more.
Water, please. Can I pay with Momo? No. Hey, can I pay with Momo?
Here's our merchant code.
Oh, very good.
7 mega?
20. Can I pay with Momo?
Unfortunately, no.
Baby, let's go.
When paying with MTN Momo comes with more benefits for everyone, it just doesn't make sense not to have it.
Hello, I've come for rent.
Can I pay with Momo?
Yes, you can.
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cashback every week. It's free of charge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Uganda's oil and gas activities are undertaken in line with the updated environment legislation and benchmarked on international best practice standards in order to continuously ensure coexistence between the oil activities and Uganda's rich biodiversity. Following the award of the Environment and Social Impact Assessment certificates for the Kingfisher, Tilenga, and East African crude oil pipeline projects, various environmental and social management plans have also been developed to ensure sustainable development of the projects. The Petroleum Authority of Uganda is working with other regulatory bodies to monitor all oil and gas activities to enhance compliance and environment protection during oil activities. The Petroleum Authority of Uganda, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey.
Hello, Mom. How did you sleep? How is Salongo? Oh, Mommy, how is Grandma? And Simba, the dog, yeah, the funny one.
Call Bona on any network in Uganda with Airtel Bona voice bundles. Dial *100*1#, select Call Bona to choose bundles from as low as 1,000 shillings from daily, weekly, monthly, or bundles that don't expire. Call Bona on any network in Uganda with Airtel. A reason to imagine.
Malaria is still the #1 cause of death in Uganda. To help you protect your family from malaria, the government of Uganda is continuing its mosquito nets distribution campaign to give mosquito nets to every household in the country. Register and receive your mosquito nets from the community health worker. Distribution of nets in the following districts and cities will take place from the 8th to the 13th of September 2023. Buku, Bulambuli, Vuyende, Ibanda, Iganga, Jinja City, Jinja, Kamuli, Kamwenge, Kapchora, Kazo, Chegegwa, Luka, Mbara City, Mbara, Namayingo, Ntungamo, and Rwampara. Every district will have received their mosquito nets by November. Together, we can chase malaria out of Uganda. Sleep under a mosquito net every night. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from the Global Fund.
Did you know that you can safely and conveniently make your school fees payments anytime, any school, anywhere using Airtel Money? Oh yes! Simply pick up your phone and dial *185#. Select option 6, school fees. Choose between school pay, peg pay, or shore pay. Enter student number. Enter amount, confirm name and transaction. Enter Airtel Money PIN. A confirmation message will be sent to you upon a successful transaction. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Uganda is a source, transit, and destination for adults and children who are either forced or deceived into forced labor, organ harvest, sacrifice, and commercial exploitation. Trafficking in persons is a serious crime and gross violation of human rights. Report suspects of trafficking in persons to police for investigation and prosecution. Suspects are either close friends or relatives. Victims of trafficking are not criminals and need protection. This message is brought to you by the Coordination Office for Prevention of Trafficking in Persons, Ministry of Internal Affairs.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Mbara and Jinja.
In this family, we can't agree on anything.
Martha.
We can't even agree on what to watch. All the games to play.
Martha.
Ndoza Mulabi, we can't even agree on what to eat. At least the one thing for now we can all agree on is the soap to use. He likes that it's big and lasts long. Anti-economy. I like that it keeps my skin smooth. Ate alina echovu. And the children like that. It smells amazing. Everyone is happy. Movit soap comes in 4 fantastic flavors. Movit family soap is truly soap for the whole family.
Movit. All day confidence.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. My name is Rukidi Edward Kijjanangoma, and Elizabeth Nakakoni is on sign language. To Kasese now, where the National Resistance Movement chairperson for Kasese District, Dr. Crispus Kionga, has said that the coming of the National Unity Platform President, Robert Sentamu Kyagulanyi, to Kasese does not threaten the NRM as a ruling party. He says over the past years, the NRM movement has regained strength in Kasese after people believing in prosperity that has been extended to the population by the ruling party. Now, the Opposition and National Unity Platform President Kyagulanyi has called for the release of political prisoners as a way that will restore their freedom. He was addressing residents of Mayuge district in Mayuge town on the eastern leg that starts in Busoga sub-region. Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu on a countrywide NOP mobilization tour in Eastern Region, and team were welcomed at Musita and later proceeded to Mayuge town. Take it.
The Demographic Health Survey Performance Monitoring for Action National
We apologize for that mix-up there, but we're working on those stories and we shall give them to you when they are ready. Now, government needs to involve religious leaders in advocating for family planning activities. On the other hand, religious leaders want a multiple stakeholder approach, including government, cultural and religious institutions, to strengthen leadership and coordination to address barriers to family planning.
Dissemination. Uganda's total fertility rate is 5.4 and the country's annual population growth rate is among the highest in the world. In a meeting with the family planning change agents and champions in Kampala, legislators, civil society, private sector and religious leaders discussed management of family planning, quality services delivery.
But family planning is a component including even messaging, just information. And services. And so it is not necessarily that you go for an injection.
And against negative social behaviors, attitudes and beliefs. So community mobilization is also very key in attaining family planning interventions.
So there is a spacing. And there are those who we think are happy, they have the family they want to stop there. All of this is planning and it is health and positive.
The second Deputy Mufti, Uganda Supreme Council and the Chairperson Board Faith for Family Health Initiative, His Eminence Sheikh Muhammad Hali Waiswa, wants government to sustain investments in family planning.
Opportunity to dialogue on family planning investment commitments, the financing realities based on the recently concluded health budget analysis will give us an opportunity to learn, make progressive decisions, and take actions to ensuring better and greater investment in family planning.
The Executive Secretary, Uganda Joint Christian Council for Zambonabingi Constance, called upon the Minister of Health and all stakeholders to involve religious leaders in advocating for family planning uptake.
When the family is not taken care of, then there is no church. So my advocacy is produce the children you can take care of. And that's God's command. If you can produce 4 and your finances can take care of them, you can give them shelter, you can give them education, then you're okay. Produce, even if you can produce 10, so long as you can take care of them and they can have a good life. They can be very good citizens. It is not, you go to some of our churches, and some of our churches, we are taking care of the children who are not ours. The burden has come to the church. The burden is going to the mosque. Why should you produce for me to take care of your children? That's not the issue.
Research shows that 4 in every 10 births in Uganda are unplanned. Robert Katamba, UBC News.
Property owners and tenants of Bugolobi in Kampala are concerned over the mushrooming number of bars. The chairperson, Bugolobi Property Owners and Tenants Association, Captain Mike Mukula, says this could easily cause insecurity. Now, the concern comes in the wake of terror threats that the country continues to face, despite successful foiling of some. Here is our reporter, Henry Okrot, with more.
It is a move to make the once vibrant suburb of Bugolobi shine again. They want to install permanent street lighting, upgrade roads, and ensure water flow. Members of the Bugolobi Property Owners and Tenants Association have met to discuss how to grow Bugolobi.
If Bugolobi is planned properly,
like you have seen in Kololo, which has collapsed. Acacia Avenue has been overtaken. It is now an entertainment center. It's more like Las Vegas now. Right from the golf club up to Acacia Mall, left and right, you will see every identity of a person in Kampala. There, because it has been overtaken by lack of planning. We, as sober people, cannot ignore this.
These moves, however, are threatened by infiltration of illegal occupants.
There have been developments that have been made in this green belt, the environmental filter, which will affect the ecosystem of Lake Victoria. Some people have now started to reclaim it, building industrial parks, developing, making it extremely very difficult for the time to come for the natural filter which will feed into Lake Victoria.
Also, the emergence of bars seems to threaten security in the area.
None of those bars are licensed, mark my word. If you walk to any of those bars, you'll find a restaurant license, not a bar license.
What next is action. Kololo has gone, just like Dr. Mike Nicholas said. We don't want the same to happen to Bugolobi.
In the wake of growing threats of terror, including one foiled at Rubaga Miracle Cathedral on Sunday, residents have to participate.
If you see something that is very unusual, you call the DISO, you call the DPC, you call the area OC, you call the area GISO, you give them information, then for us, we swing into action and completely destroy the enemy. Without alliance with Wananchi, we can't do anything.
As a preventive way, I want to encourage ourselves to light our places, both inside and outside, because enough light is a very good strategy for crime prevention.
Sinj Katongole, also a resident, participated in installing street lights for security reasons.
We have several rich men all over. If each one could say, I put two security lights, I think even we'll have made KCCA work more easy. And it is securing ourselves, our future, the future of our children, by doing Bulungi Bansi.
Security, road infrastructure, waste management, environment and air quality are priorities. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Uncle, you should see London.
Oh, my boy. It has been 5 years. You should see Uganda.
Yes. Uncle Marcus, huh? This is my former school.
See, soon there will be more than 1 million children learning like this for free.
This is impressive. Do you even have connection out here?
Well, we have 100% 4G countrywide.
Okay.
We even have 5G too.
That's approximately 700 billion Uganda shillings in tax, making Airtel one of the largest corporate income taxpayers over the last 5 years, helping build a better Uganda.
Today your son saw our new Uganda.
Thank you, Uganda, for imagining it with us and making us the fastest growing telecom in the country over the past 5 years.
Here is the 2023 musical launch of the year. 16th of September 2023, Kololo Ceremonial Grounds will be the only place to be, as the whole of Uganda will gather to witness the Museveni Awoma musical launch by Eman Sereko, also known as Munamasaka. Don't miss all your artists, comedians, stage and movie actors, members of parliament, ministers, leaders at different levels, led by the Right Honorable Premier Robin Nabanja. The chief guest of the day will be the one and only Sabalwanyi Jajamwami, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, all at the free entry at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds on the 16th of September 2023. Do not miss.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret? Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM? Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk. No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving. Juko. I thought I was one of your friends. You are. But you left me behind. I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Malaria is still the #1 cause of death in Uganda. To help you protect your family from malaria, the government of Uganda is continuing its mosquito nets distribution campaign to give mosquito nets to every household in the country. Register and receive your mosquito nets from the community health worker. Distribution of nets in the following districts and cities will take place from the 8th to the 13th of September 2023. Buku, Bulambuli, Vuyende, Ibanda, Iganga, Jinja City, Jinja, Kamuli, Kamwenge, Kapchora, Kazo, Chegegwa, Luka, Mbara City, Mbara, Namayingo, Ntungamo, and Rwampara. Every district will have received their mosquito nets by November. Together, we can chase malaria out of Uganda. Sleep under a mosquito net every night. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from the Global Fund.
Under the net, no malaria will catch.
Uganda's oil and gas activities are undertaken in line with the updated environment legislation and benchmarked on international best practice standards in order to continuously ensure coexistence between the oil activities and Uganda's rich biodiversity. Following the award of the Environment and Social Impact Assessment certificates for the Kingfisher, Tilenga, and East African crude oil pipeline projects, various environmental and social management plans have also been developed to ensure sustainable development of the projects. The Petroleum Authority of Uganda is working with other regulatory bodies to monitor all oil and gas activities to enhance compliance and environment protection during oil activities. The Petroleum Authority of Uganda, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey.
Welcome back from that break, and let's move on with our news. Now let's go back to Mayuge, that story where the opposition National Unity Platform President Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu has called for the release of political prisoners as a way that will restore their freedom. He was addressing residents of Mayuge district in Mayuge town on the eastern leg that starts in Busoga sub-region. Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu on a countrywide mobilization tour in Eastern Region and team were welcomed at Musita and later proceeded to Mayuge town. And also let's go back to Kasese, where the National Resistance Movement chairperson for Kasese District, Dr. Crispus Kionga, has said that the coming of the National Unity Platform President Robert Ssentamu Kyagulanyi to Kasese District does not in any way threaten the NRM as a ruling party. He says over the past years, the NRM government has regained strength in Kasese after people believing in prosperity that has been extended to the population by the ruling party. Take a watch.
Over 200 opposition supporters in Kasese district have crossed to the NRM ruling party, many of them coming from the FDC.
Mujungu Tembo bendera ya NRM nkafuraga bera wetu abwa Busongola South.
Speaking to the media shortly after receiving them at Bwera Teachers College in Impondwe, Rukidi Town Council, the chairperson for NRM Kasese District, Dr. Crispus Kionga, said the country tour of the new president is not a threat to the ruling NRM party. He encouraged the converts to be hardworking and utilize the government programs like Fresh Development Model. He reminded the people of Kasese to revive the green for food security.
We are putting a lot of emphasis on food security, using cassava as the central theme. Cassava, this area, the staple food is cassava. Like matoke is the staple food in Toro, in Ankole, in Buganda. Here, the staple food is cassava. But we are using it as a lead slogan to build food security. Yeah, because to have just cassava cannot solve, you cannot provide adequate feeding to the population.
Many people in the district have been seen crossing to the NRM party.
Welcome back. Let's have a look now at what's happening in the world of business. Uganda Development Bank, UDB, hosted transformative stakeholders for regional growth. The Busoga Investment Forum brought together over 600 business leaders, political figures, and government representatives at the Jinja Civil Service College.
Managing Director UDB Patricia Ojagole underscored the institution's dedication to regional development, aiming to unlock Busoga's economic potential. The forum's objectives included spotlight top investment prospects, address private sector challenges, align Busoga with the National Development Plan, and facilitate growth through affordable financing solutions.
We have a project preparation unit that we are going to work with the different promoters who should ideally be people from the region. Because again, we cannot deliver this alone, but we have to work with the private sector. So what we really provide is a means that the private sector can use to develop, to undertake projects. So when we take projects, we are really invested in ensuring that these projects succeed. So we work through the promoters across the value chain.
Busoga, with 11 districts and 4.3 million residents, holds promise in agriculture, tourism, manufacturing and mining. Shabazinga William Wilberforce Gavula Nadope's fourth representative praised UDB's pivotal role in Uganda's development.
And our youth, who waste resourceful time in things that do not add value. 3, it is time to listen, learn and unlearn old beliefs and habits in business and in our everyday life, to be able to work both hard and smart in everything that we do. I implore you to refer and learn from our history as a region that blossomed with a robust agricultural sector, premium education, and the industrial hub of Uganda, which Busoga was.
First Deputy Prime Minister, Right Honourable Rebecca Kadaga Litwala emphasised the potential sugarcane value chains and tourism development, calling for support.
One produce sugarcane juice, one produce toilet paper,
out of that material, want to produce syrup for medicine out of that sugar cane, want to produce paper, want to produce mats. If we develop that value chain, we shall create employment for many of our people, including those who are not very skilled.
Busoga Investment Forum demonstrates UDB's commitment to Uganda's socio-economic growth, and it was attended by Minister Justin Lumumba Kasuli, underlining the event's significance in shaping Busoga's future.
How do we access UDB as a branch in Dinda? How do we manage okubonanti aba UDB basobola otutuuka ku ma district gaife?
Sandra Kahundi, Robert Katamba, News Tonight.
Let's have a look now at how the shilling fared today against selected local and international currencies in our money market report. Sports news now, and we begin with athletics, where Joshua Cheptegei and Victor Kiplangat are August USPA sports personalities. The duo was impressive during the World Athletics Championships in Budapest. Meanwhile, the USPA Sports Gala, where the best in a year are crowned, is on this September. Emon Ngabo reports.
During the same assembly, Joshua Cheptegei and Victor Kiplagat were unanimously voted joint winners for the now special USPA Sports Personality for August. Joshua Cheptegei successfully defended his 10,000-meter world title at the 2023 World Athletics Championship in Budapest, Hungary, becoming the first Ugandan to win and protect a world title twice.
Of Africa. He's roared like a lion, and so has Ibenyo.
Victor Kiplagat became the second Ugandan to win the marathon world title.
That is a winning smile as he takes gold in Hero Square.
We have winners that have acclaimed a certain national layer, that is the World Championships that happen in Budapest, Hungary, and all of them met the kind of bar that we always advance. That bar is international platform, and all of them met it. One won in the 10,000 meters, and the other became the second Ugandan to win a world marathon medal.
Other commendations included Jacob Sunday winning bronze in the 1,500 meters, at the Commonwealth Youth Games in Trinidad and Tobago, Victor Chelotik winning bronze in the 3,000 meter steeplechase. At the same games, while Fred Mugelwa, the Shikran's head coach, received the supportive award for guiding Uganda to 5th place at the 2023 Netball World Cup.
Football now, and Uganda's senior football team, the Cranes, landed safely in Marrakech, Morocco, for the last AFCON qualifier game against Niger. The contingent plays Niger this Thursday, hoping that Tanzania, whom they share the same group, falters against Algeria. Uganda had few drills, both in the gym and on the field, expressing readiness about the Thursday game. Now, Uganda is third in the group with Algeria, Tanzania and Niger.
Everyone is motivated and we are ready for Thursday's game. Though the whole squad is not yet here, but some have reached the camp well, and we are ready for the evening training. Like we had training in the morning for the gym session and the stand, and we are now waiting for the evening training and win and get it.
to dance sport now, and Uganda Dance Sport Federation has hosted the 2023 National Breaking for Gold Championship at Lido Beach in Entebbe. It attracted players from across the country and was followed by our reporter.
Lido Beach in Entebbe has hosted the 2023 National Breaking for Gold Championships, at which more than 30 players took part. After several rounds of intriguing action, Laurenti Farouk, also known as B-Boy Schoolboy, and Sophia Kawala, also known as B-Girl Sophie, emerged respective gender champions.
I've come through a long journey, and I also represented in Morocco, I think about 3 months back, and I managed to come back in Uganda as number 2, but for today I had to represent so much. I had to, because I've been training a lot, so I had to come back and take the win, and I'm gladly happy to come here as number 1, as a finalist, and with a gold medal.
The top 4 boys, including Brian Adam and Stephen Opio and Miracle Magezi, who lost the girls' final, are destined for the Breaking for Gold Championship in Belgium.
So I have managed to select the top 4 boys and the top 2 girls to represent Uganda in the Breaking for Gold World Cup Championship in Brussels, Belgium, from 22nd to 25th of this month. So we have managed to discover new talents compared to last year, and they are also energetic, and all the regions of Uganda have been represented, especially those who qualified from the previous qualifiers. It has been a successful event, coming on the shores of Lake Victoria. We got new audience as a sport, and also the ambience.
The championship attracted participants from several parts of the country like Gulu, Mbarara and Fort Poto. John Barnes, Centum, UBC News.
And that sports story brings us to the end of this bulletin. But before we leave you, let's have a look at our top stories.